Good morning and welcome to Mimosas in the Morning. I'm Leslie.
And I'm Holly.
And today with us we have Christoper Green, who is a force of nature on his own, but he also is married to our boss babe force of nature.
So he's our
Iris Green.
boss babe's
First husband.
first husband. First husband. I like that, right? Iris Green's first husband. She's gonna like that one, right?
I think she will. But to you. So we are talking to Christoper today. He has started a podcast.
Yep.
He is a veteran of the Army. And
he's our first gentleman
he is. So we're very happy to have him with us today.
on our show. So that's very, very exciting. So thank you.
Thank you.
So now hopefully this starts a trend that we're not just for the female spouses. We're also for, because we've done our veterans, but we're also for our, service members and everyone.
I'm a domestic guy.
He does like to say that, don't he? A domestic guy. Well, you're also, though, a little jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
There you go, right?
Brazilian
So Leslie and I figure we're going to make you feel comfortable. Yeah.
Here we go.
She's putting me.
Yeah, we're going to be jiu-jitsu
This is
with
really
you.
small.
She can't
I can't get on this one.
Yes, you
That's
can.
Madison.
That's Madison.
Madison's tiny.
Come on,
See?
you do.
Oh no, I will not fit in this one. But it's
I'm
really
feeling a
cool.
little jiu-jitsu, and I like little surprises. So, Chris.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, got the little video.
Oh my God, we got a
Yep,
commercial.
got the commercial. It always comes through the thing. I don't know why it does it every time, but we need to figure that one out.
Gotta get the peso.
Yes, I know. Go after the thing. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like my little surprise, Chris.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have a little surprise with it, right?
Oh my God.
Come on, this morning.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, you do know what it is, right? Do y'all know what this is? Come on, Sally, tell me.
That was like,
Yep.
what?
And almonds delightfully. And we're gonna go Hershey almonds. So we're gonna kick it on over to the Snickers.
I was not prepared.
You're in trouble today. It's like a chocolate dust.
Because the little birdie told me that she loved almonds.
She also probably told you that I'm cutting weight. So
Yeah, no.
She always sabotages me.
So today we are conference fighting. So what you say, or you want to say a little namaste?
Namaste.
Namaste.
No,
Let's say that.
We
Namaste.
just grapple and choke each other.
That sounds like a lot
It's
more
not
fun.
spiritual.
And so today we didn't do mimosas because we're doing chocolate milk. Because you can't have a good candy bar without a big glass of chocolate milk, right? Cold chocolate milk.
Cheers.
Cheers to everybody. Good morning to everyone as we calmly fight through this vlog today, right? Do you like that surprise, Chris?
Is it yours?
No? You can.
Are you like,
It has nothing in it. I promise you it's virgin. All virgin drink here.
No Baileys.
No Baileys this
Sure.
morning.
Here, I'll drink mine.
No, I'm battling a sinus cold, so I don't think my antibiotic will agree with that one. But thank you for coming.
Wow.
And so we want to hear all the good things. So you were Army for 20 years,
Yep.
first husband.
First,
You're also an excellent daddy to two beautiful girls.
I like to do my job.
And you help out our boss babe, and I would say us keep ourselves straight with all kinds of stuff on the back end of our.
I lick her.
Ours is business.
I give her booze when she's upset,
Yeah.
so she keep her all liquored up and happy.
I
He's a
Red
good
zone.
husband.
I know. I start pouring when I can tell on the phone.
It's been a long day.
So tell us, because your new adventure, your new side business, which just took off, right?
Yeah, we just launched. It's not on iTunes yet, so it's called Boots in Transition. And
Boots in Transition.
Boots in Transition, the Veteran Survival Guide. And it's a podcast, which is completely new to me. I'm learning all the software. In fact, I spent about 6 hours trying to get everything put on iTunes, but still waiting for the approval. But the idea is, it came through conversations I've had with a lot of veterans. When we retired, we really don't know what to do. We think we have a plan, and we sit in our TAPS class and we kind of ignore the important stuff and take notes on the stuff we shouldn't, because it's nothing on TAPS. It's not their fault, but we want to go home and got stuff to do. Then we get retired, and now what?
What do you do?
So, you stumble around, and, things we address are, not just how to how to build your career, we do have a career piece on it. And I have guests that I interview that have transitioned successfully, so we see how they do it. Also, that psychological well-being, depression, kind of find that new identity, staying fit, because I've got a lot of friends. We used to joke at Syncom, you can tell the guys who've been out for like 3 months because the hem on their pants go up 3 inches because they bought the pants when they got out, and they gain weight, and then they come up. So
It's not facial hair?
the facial hair is a whole nother thing, and mine's still a work in progress.
Like, so my husband's did not work out so well.
No, I had a full beard 2 days ago, but my CPAP, I used a CPAP, wasn't working. So then I shaved that, so I looked Amish, and I'm like, I can't go on the show.
You don't know the lot. We would love it. We would have no problem.
So go to a barber. If you're retired, just bite the bullet, spend the money, go to a barber, because everybody screws up their beard about 8 or 9 times before you find what you want. But so it's kind of about finding yourself. How to re-identify, rebrand, but find that new identity. Because the last thing I tell people that the last thing I want to do is spend the next 20 years talking about the last 20 years. So what's next? How do you stay in touch with being a veteran, maintain the good pieces of that life, but at the same time move to the next one? A good friend of mine, Spencer Baker, taught me the term vet bro. And a vet bro is one of those guys, maybe they did a couple years, and all they wear is the tactical pants and the cool guy shirt and the hat, and but they never get past that. And you got to get past that. So for me, it's through I guess it's entrepreneurship. I've got a nonprofit I hope to start in a couple months relating to jiu-jitsu. So those projects.
What is the name of that?
It's going to be Warrior BJJ, is what I think it's going to be. And basically, I'm trying to find a model where I can get free Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for guys with PTSD and depression. Because there's been a lot of studies that Jiu-Jitsu helps that a lot. But I've got to walk the dog on how to get that nonprofit up, which means that first I got to get the podcast where it's easy. Right now, I'm getting to a point, like I'm learning the software enough, I can do a podcast and publish it within a couple days. So before I take on another project, I've got to finish that. Plus the property management, helping Iris, and maybe, I got to redo my license for real estate. So still busy.
Just in a different way.
It is, yeah.
Right.
But the big thing is find some passions when you get out. Find those things you want to do, that you like to do, that you feel fulfilled doing, and go forth. And it's going to be hard. There's a lot of stuff, that you're not going to know. I'm 20 years of leadership. I'm not 20 years of business technology.
Right.
So I've got a steep learning curve. Iris has been very supportive of it. She's like, hey, go for it. She used the term fail forward a lot. So, but I failed a few times with the podcast. Had one with a great interview. My audio was garbage. It took me all day trying to fix my bad side of the audio. But it's fun. Hopefully people get something out of it.
Well, Leslie and I didn't know that. Because, oh my God, our lighting has been bad. Our voice has been bad. I don't look
Our
so
content
great.
has been bad.
But still, we had fun, and that's what matters. And did you enjoy it? Did you have fun? Because if you enjoyed it and you had fun, then everything else is it's okay.
But speaking on the transition side and just seeing our family going through it, I've also found that for me, what's my identity now too? 20 years as a Marine Corps spouse, being very active in that community. My kids, that's all they know. So, with your family too, it's the same thing. It's a family transition if you've done this for so many years.
My second episode is with Iris, and we actually had a friend interview her. A good friend of mine, he started his own podcast. It was practice for him. And we thought it'd be good to have someone else do it. So it's, we had a conversation. And so he interviewed Iris about what it's like for a spouse to go through transition. If you haven't heard it, you can, it's on Libsyn, and you can go to transition on
Can
Facebook.
we add that to our link here?
Yeah, we can link it in.
Okay, so we're going to link that in so that you have
So
that.
the interview with Iris, and that's what it's about, is, things I never thought of is, I'm focused on who I'm going to be.
Right.
Well, the kids, and this came up during the interview, is that the kids also have to get a new identity. Because
Yes.
they go from being a mill family to just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
How they accept, we're not now, for the first time, we're not moving. Daddy's not deploying. So we've seen a lot of growth with our children. Just they're forming bonds that they didn't form before, because I think that now they know they're going to be home. Iris's identity changed. For Iris, a lot of it, what comes up is the frustration of watching me stumble.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not easy. So as we're so focused on who am I going to be, it's easy to forget that the whole family is transitioning.
Right.
And that's a big piece of what we want to do is like, what's it like for the spouse? What's it like for family? In my case, using military speak, you can only have one main effort
Mm-hmm.
in any military operation. The same thing goes with family. So we struggled with the idea that Iris is now the main effort.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get out and like, okay, I've got to make this much money, I've got to do that. And well, only one person's career can come first. So I had to pull myself back, and it takes a lot of stress off myself.
Right.
But it's hard changing that identity that now Iris is the main effort and I'm supporting. So I'm picking the kids up from school.
You see everything that we had to
Oh
do.
my God, yes.
It's amazing,
Just-
right?
just-
Listen to it. It's
Just
amazing.
chasing the
Everything.
kids down. Like I spent some time, don't upset your mother. She's been working hard. Help daddy make dinner because she's going to be home. It's,
The
whatever.
roles have reversed, and now you see the eyes of everything that we do.
I will take a mortar attack over a kid's tantrum any day of the week. You can shoot back at a mortar attack. You just kind of have to grin and bear it. Yeah.
Either that or go to the other room and.
Oh yeah, I'll do that too.
Yeah.
Probably, as I say, and put your headphones on and say, it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
A little bit.
suck my
It's
thumb,
gonna be
Mom's
okay.
afraid,
Okay.
Daddy's
Yeah.
We're going to get through this evening.
Yeah.
8 o'clock is almost here.
Well, that's why the jiu-jitsu of the evening is kind of a break. I have people trying to choke me, but it's not my wife angry. I'll tell you.
I can't imagine Iris ever doing it.
I know.
She did it for 6 months. She did jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Did she really?
Tried it out. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying choking you at home.
Oh, she punches me and chokes me. The thing is, I laugh because she hurts her hand. Because she'll punch me and hurt her hand. So.
Yeah, I don't know her boss face. She's a little tiny. Call her.
She's a redhead. She's a
Yeah,
redhead.
but she is a redhead. Yeah, she is a redhead. But she's this little tiny thing.
Oh, yeah.
So.
She doesn't hurt me. She in the arm. Love you. Hi, baby.
She's sitting here thinking, yeah, it's going to be fun at home tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a little bit about the jitsu though. Why is jitsu to you important?
So I went through really bad depression a few years ago, kind of undiagnosed. Didn't even know what it was, but it was bad. And I found that when I was performing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all the negative thoughts go away. It kind of gives that moment of clarity. So it became therapy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're finding a lot of success with PTSD, with depression in general, with soldiers. That's
Right.
kind of where I want to go with later is that when you're grappling, one, the team is the closest thing you come to a platoon.
Okay.
Because
That
the
makes
guys on the
sense.
team, they're trying to get in shape, they're working hard, they're giving you, when they're giving you their best fight, you're giving them their best fight, there's an honesty to that
Mm-hmm.
that you don't get normally. Like I always tell people, I'll know if you're a good guy or like, oh, he's a nice guy. I'll know after my first roll if he's a nice guy. Because if
Okay.
he loses temper and spazzes out, then maybe not so much. But when you're done, you're friends. You begin and end each roll shaking hands, and when you're going at it, it's not like cottage you're fighting another person. You're trying to, I call it involuntary yoga.
Okay.
But yeah, 5 or 6 rounds.
Except you're not doing the Torquin style this
I'm
year.
I'm bending their body. Another term people say is it's like folding clothes with somebody else in them.
Oh.
Okay, that's yeah.
Sounds fun.
That's submission fighting, choking out on
And so
bars.
can we get that because that's here in Tampa, and
So I train with Fabio Novaes. He's in
let's get kudos to that.
Fabio
Let's
Novaes
say
Brazilian Jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
And Fabio's a world champion, world-class athlete.
I think we should go. I think we should do it live.
You get a free week. I'll have
Well, I'm not talking about a week, because you're
No,
asking
no,
a
but I
lot.
mean, just
I'm the girl who gives water bottles at the end of the race. I'm not running the race. However, I think it'll be fun. I want to learn some.
I have no
Moves,
trouble being
right?
that with somebody.
you'll enjoy
Yeah, there you go. Leslie, she needs it right now.
stealing their souls.
I can do that.
I'm not a fighter, y'all know that. I'm a lover. But, however, I would like to know, like, a little bit of self-defense.
It's
Like,
a
I
good
think
time.
that's important, right?
It's a good time.
Always.
It's great exercise, and it's one of those things. You're not just running on a treadmill. I've sweat out on
That's not
comp
gonna
training. I'll
happen.
sweat 8 pounds out if I'm going hard.
Yeah.
But and the higher you get, the better you get, the less energy it takes. But yeah, it's just a good time, and it is therapy for a lot of people. So
And
So
you're
with the
recommending-
charity too, like you're helping people with PTSD, the people,
Yeah.
which kind of leads to,
Mhm.
the depression and PTSD seem to somehow go together with a lot of people.
yeah, the difference. What I found is the difference. What I was explained to me from my psychiatrist was the difference between anxiety and depression and PTSD is a single event. So if you're reliving a single event, it's PTSD. And this is not everybody agrees on this.
Okay.
Where generalized anxiety, that a lot of military get, a lot comes from sleeping in shifts, that constant threat of assault, especially if you spend a lot of time downrange, mortars coming in, but it's not specific, it's just that hyper awareness. That's where my insomnia comes in, so it's a gray area they cross over. But, when you get into a depressive cyclical thoughts, it's hard to get out of it. Even if they medicate you, you don't come out of it. It just kind of clears some of the fog. So when I roll, I found it for a good afternoon, like I've kind of got all that cleared out, then you can really address the issue. So there's been a lot of really interesting studies. You can go online about Brazilian Jiu-jitsu and depression and PTSD. So what I'm hoping to start this spring is get scholarships. We'll have to figure out a way to get scholarships for veterans across the country. We have to find a partnering school that will offer a scholarship, let someone train there, and maybe 6 months. Haven't worked out the logistics of it yet, but see if it helps them with their depression or PTSD. Because it helped me. I honestly say it saved my life. I mean, I was in a bad spot.
That's really good.
And it helps.
Right?
I've known a lot of people tell me the same thing. So that's the goal.
Well,
I'll ask this real quick with
tell us about that.
with your transition, with your podcast that you have
Yes.
going. Of course, we'll be putting the link and everything on. Would that be open for different veterans, different people to be able to send you questions, things that they're, different topics that they find that are necessary?
And
Or
guests.
Yeah,
And guests.
talk about it. We'll talk about
I like topic suggestions. I like guests. Some of it is people who have transitioned already and how they got to their career, how they got from A to B. Because when you retire, a good friend of mine I just interviewed, he's in insurance. He was a combat sapper, engineer. So I'm like, in a year, how'd you get there? So he kind of walked me through how he got there and actually how he uses counterinsurgency doctrine to grow his business. Same concept, really interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. But he explains it on there like, that makes sense. We do have these tools. We just
You're
have
thinking
to reapply
outside,
them.
think outside the box. Maybe
Yeah.
take what your specialty is and think, not necessarily that militant way, but now how can I fit this somewhere else?
I'm looking for someone who can talk about benefits and how to go through the VA
Okay.
properly because, there's rights and wrong ways. So I'm still looking for
So
a guest
you're
for that.
listening, or you're listening later, Chris, someone who's talking about the VA.
And that's been a very interesting process
Very
as we've been going through it too. So I can tell you, finding an expert who knows what they're doing on that.
I got good advice. I got coached in how to, and I got a lot of help from American Veterans and Veterans, a nonprofit. And without it, I would not be where I'm at right now. They helped me a lot. So
Okay.
it's a confusing process.
Well, thank you so much for coming today to talk with us and share some things that are actually very personal to you. We thank you.
I'm an open door.
Because I know that takes a lot to talk about things that are
Well,
deep for you,
other
and that's
people go
something
through it.
a lot of people know about.
Veterans are bad about not admitting what we go through and keep it to ourselves.
Right.
So when you realize that someone else goes through it, you're not alone.
And our newer veterans, we're looking at 2 decades of war.
Right.
Yeah.
Going through.
So you're not alone, you're never alone. And come to our site, because we're going to link all this great information that you gave us
Thank you.
so that that can go out and be shared to everyone. And thank you very much.
And remember
Thank you.
that military home base brings you home one base at a time.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.